All right. Hello, everyone. I am live. My phone says I'm live. Um, I said yesterday that I figured out this setup using my cell phone is it's much better in a hotel room than using my computer to live stream. I apologize for coming on late. I got back to my hotel room after the game, and then I had some dinner plans. I had to go meet a friend, and I thought about pushing the stream to tomorrow. But no, with sports content, with Michigan football content, you want to strike while the iron is hot and while the algorithm is hot. Let me make sure I can see myself on YouTube. I want to thank Dre Ellerby and Treppa Coles for commenting. I originally set the stream for 9:30, but I got back a little bit late. Let me make sure. Let me see how I look here. Okay. Oh, there's an ad. You guys commented, but you didn't hit the like button. Come on, guys, hit the like button. Hit the like button for me. Help get the engagement up for this stream. Let me see. So I have some comments here. Trepicoles, no. Dre Ellerby says. Actually, I can't highlight the comments there. Dre Ellerby says, all right, Alex, okay, his 5-star QB with all of those 5-star wide receivers did not look good today. Yeah, I caught the end of the Ohio State Indiana game earlier, and I caught a little bit of Kyle McCord and Marvin Harrison Jr. and the rest of that group. Mayan Williams, and Ohio State didn't look impressive, but it was the first game, and unlike us, they started off with a conference opponent. Okay, Treppa Coles has a couple comments here. He says, can we talk about Shedeur Sanders? Shedeur Sanders. You know what? Yeah, that was one of the drawbacks of going to the Michigan game today is that I missed that Colorado TCU game. But one of my resident, well, now he's a troll. He's an Ohio State troll, Abdul Gaines. He used to be a part of the Michigan fan base. I was getting updates at Michigan Stadium, and it turned out that was a hell of a game that the Colorado Buffaloes played. So Coach Prime is off to a great start in Boulder. No, is that Boulder? Is that where University of Colorado is? Is it Boulder or is it someplace else? Either way, he's off to a good start. And I mean, based upon what happened with us at TCU, I was hoping that they would pull the upset on TCU. But I guess this means that everybody has to beware of the Colorado Buffaloes now. Treppa Coles also says, at Dre, a Big Ten opponent on the road. I think that's referring to Indiana and Ohio State. Everybody, please smash that like button if you haven't. Dre says, I know, but to put up over 100 points on them, but they put up over 100 points on them in the last 3 years. Okay. So you guys, if you're still here, I started late. Keep commenting. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought about today's matchup at the Big House, and also other things. I heard Iowa won as well. So it looks like there are a few teams to be aware of and to be on notice of. But is our Maize and Blue one of those teams? What did we all see today at the Big House? I'm going to play this kickoff intro, and then I wrote down some notes when I was at the game, so I'm going to go over these. I don't have much, and then I'm going to see what you all have to say in the comment section, and then I'm going to wrap this up because it's about, it's almost 10 o'clock here. If you're just coming in, whoever watches this, please smash that like button and also consider subscribing to the channel. I am 5 subscribers away from 1,200. Shout out to Treppa Coles. Respect is earned. I bet Treppa Coles didn't think, no, not Treppa Coles, Bo Lytle. Not Treppa Coles, Bo Lytle. Shout out to Bo Lytle. Respect is earned. I doubt that Bo Lytle thought that I would keep running with this, but I am a fan of the Jim Rome show, and when Jim Rome grabbed hold of something, he would run with it for years. So Bo Lytle, you have contributed something to this channel that will probably always be a part of this channel. All right, so I'll see you guys on the other side of Let's Go Blue. I don't have a lot to say. Actually, I watched Johnny Olden's recap, and Johnny always has insightful things to say. And he said something about the defense that I thought when I was there in the big house looking at the defense, and I have something to add to that. All right, so I'll see you on the other side. So national championship or bust. Well, as you guys know, old khaki pants, he wasn't on the sidelines today as a part of that suspension thing that the team and the athletic department are trying to manage that suspension thing from the NCAA. So I think Jesse Minter was the official head coach today. So Michigan defeated East Carolina, not Eastern Carolina. As I was making my way to the big house this morning, I was listening to WTKA, the Ticket 1050, and Sam Webb and those guys. They gave a little background on East Carolina, and I think Sam pointed out that they don't like to be called Eastern Carolina; they're East Carolina. So the Pirates. And I think that's where Dante Culpepper, who played for the Minnesota Vikings, I think he went to East Carolina, or he played at East Carolina. Anyway, the Wolverines defeated East Carolina 30-3. And the prediction was that Michigan would win 36. So they fell short. Let's see, 36 minus 27. They fell short by 9 points. Everyone, please smash that like button if you're coming in. Please, if you have thoughts and comments on today's game, please let me know what those are in the comment section. Dre and Treppa Coles have been gracious enough to sound off in the chat there. But other people, if you're coming in and you have thoughts on today's game, please let me know. So I have some statistics here on my PC. It's not good for live streaming in a hotel, but I can look at the stats. It's good for calling up information, and I have some notes here. So it was good to be back in the big house. I hadn't been in the big house since before the pandemic. So I went back. Today was a maize out, so everyone wore, the majority of the stadium was maize or yellow, and it was full. I didn't think it was going to get full. I was in section 38, row 94 and seat 7 of the big house. That's like the northeastern corner up at the top. But even if you sit up at the top, you still, in the big house, and it seats 100,000 fans, even if you're up at the top of the bowl, you still have a good view of what's happening on the field. I wore jeans. I should have wore shorts. It was warm, but we had a nice cloud cover. So Michigan won the coin toss, and as you might expect, we deferred, and we held East Carolina on their first offensive possession, and they punted, and they pinned our offense back at the 1 yard line. So our JJ's first offensive series, the offense's first series was started on the 1 yard line, and they came out with 3 straight runs. Coach Harbaugh must have been on the phone or talking to someone. So they started with 3 straight runs. I guess they didn't want to risk a safety. And the guy in front of me was scratching his head as well. So they didn't get a first down on that first series. So they punted out. And Michigan's first score actually did not come until 10 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the first quarter. That was a touchdown pass from J.J. McCarthy to Roman Wilson, now sporting the number 1. All right, so he's considering himself an elite wide receiver. I'm going to read this comment here from the SDB. He says, Michigan is winning the Big Ten. Okay, so the SDB is predicting a three-peat in terms of the Big Ten title. He says, I am not being a prisoner of the moment. Michigan is too deep at every position. Will Johnson didn't even play. The safeties are all good, 13-0, and number 1. Wow, in the college football playoff. Okay, so he's calling a shot, the SDB, 13-0, and number 1 in the college football playoff. And the SDB is predicting a three-peat in terms of being Big Ten champs. Did Ohio State, during Urban Meyer's run, did they ever three-peat? Does anyone out there know? I feel like they did, because there were a series of years where they were the best team in the Big Ten. I know that Mark D'Antonio's Michigan State Spartans were there with them at some point. But did Herb ever three-peat as the Big Ten champion? Let me know what you guys know out there. Okay, so that put Michigan up 7-0, a touchdown pass to Roman Wilson. JJ was looking for Roman early and often in this game, and that might be his favorite target throughout the season, assuming both of them stay healthy. Michigan went up 14-0 off of a Blake Corum run. Okay, that was in the second quarter. That was at 14 minutes and 13 seconds. Dre Ellerby says yes. And he also says 2017, 2018, 2019. Okay, so Ohio State did three-peat. Okay. So Michigan went up 20-0 with 5 minutes and 23 seconds remaining on the clock. That was a touchdown pass to Roman Wilson. Okay, so he was looking for Roman. And Michigan and our kicker, our new kicker, missed the extra point. That's why it wasn't 21-0. There was a field goal in there by our kicker. And then Michigan went up 30-0 with 9 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter. That was another touchdown pass to Roman. Let me check the stats here in a moment. According to my notes, that means that Roman scored 3 touchdowns today. JJ threw 3 touchdown passes to Roman Wilson. Let's see. And then so the final score was 30-3. They said on the pregame show that there was a streak, I think, of first games where East Carolina was zipped. So East Carolina broke that streak today. They got down in the red zone a couple of times, but they weren't able to get into the end zone but it was really, really important for them to put that 3 points up so they could break that streak. Let's see. At the Big House, there was 109,480 people today, so it was a packed arena. The student section wasn't filled up when I first got there, but early in the first half, that section filled up, so it was a full house. Let me go over some of the statistics here, and then I wrote down three takeaways from the game, and then I'll wrap up. I'll look at your comments, and then I'll wrap this up, and I'll take a look around the rest of the college football landscape to see what happened, because as you know, Colorado won and also Iowa won. So how would that be if we met up with Iowa in the Big Ten championship game? Okay, we'll get to that. Let me go over some of the statistics. This is from ESPN, and I'm doing this stream on my phone. If I was doing it on my PC, I'd share the screen, but you guys have access to ESPN as well. Okay, so JJ McCarthy went 26 for 30 for 280 yards and 3 touchdowns. Again, that's 26 for 30, 280 yards and 3 touchdowns. Mason Garcia was the quarterback for East Carolina. He went 11 for 18 for 80 yards and 1 interception. You know, I thought I wrote down the time of possession, but it's probably here on the website too. So Blake Corum carried the ball 10 times for 73 yards and 1 touchdown. Everybody, please smash that like button. I saw some folks come in. Even if you just come in to see what I'm talking about and you hop out, those likes are free and those help with the engagement. And also, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I need 5 more to get to 1,200. More than 5 would be perfect, but 5 more would be great. Okay, so Mason Garcia led the Pirates with 8 carries for 36 yards on the ground. Roman Wilson, he caught 6 balls for 78 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Jay Bond for East Carolina, he caught 3 receptions for 31 yards. So East Carolina didn't get much done today. So I don't know that our defense was truly tested today, because East Carolina didn't really get much done. And I'm going to come back to that because it occurred to me, and this gets back to what Johnny Olden said in his video. What will happen when our defense goes up against a quarterback like Talia Tagovailoa? But I'm going to come back to that. So in terms of, I'm just going to go over some of these high-level stats. In terms of first downs, let's see, Michigan was 6 for 10 on, Michigan gained 26 first downs. Okay, East Carolina only gained 12. In terms of third down efficiency, Michigan was 6 for 10, so 60%. In terms of fourth down efficiency, Michigan was 0 for 1. I think that was the series where the offense got down to the goal line, and there was a point at which East Carolina, they held our offense, and we couldn't punch it in the end zone. And I was thinking that would be the score that would put Michigan over that 36-point prediction, but we just didn't get in on that series. Everyone, please smash that like button. If you haven't, that would help out a lot. If you want, well, the super chat is live. My Cash App and PayPal are below in the description box if you feel so inclined. But the likes are free and the subscriptions are free. So help a brother out. As Robert Downey Jr. said in Captain America Civil War, to Captain America, help a brother out. Okay. Michigan generated 402 total yards. East Carolina generated 235 total yards. Michigan generated 280 passing yards. That was all due to JJ. and East Carolina generated 132 passing yards. Michigan completed 26 balls for 31 attempts for 9 yards per pass. There were no interceptions thrown by JJ. Let's see. Michigan generated 122 total rushing yards on 31 rushing attempts for an average of 3.9 yards per carry. Michigan had 5 penalties for 35 yards, and Michigan did not turn the ball over. Michigan possessed the ball for 33 minutes and 22 seconds. East Carolina possessed the ball for 26 minutes and 34 seconds. Okay. So those are all of the high-level stats. Everyone, please smash that like button. Please help get my likes in double digits. I'm up to 9. I see 11 people here. You 2 other people. Come on now, help a brother out. Let me stop saying that. Okay, so there were a couple things that I was thinking about during the game. Well, we had guys out on defense. I think, I don't want to make content based upon someone else's content, but Johnny is the GOAT. And he pointed out in his video that the edge rushers and the edge rushing was pretty non-existent today. I do remember a series where I believe it was Chris Jenkins. I remember him breaking through the East Carolina line and chasing down Mason Garcia. But that was pretty much the only instance I remember today of Mason Garcia really being hurried in a meaningful way by one of the linemen. What I did see, and Chris Jenkins, I believe, is a tackle. Okay. But what I did see was some of the edge rushers, the ends, getting there, and then Mason Garcia stepping up in the pocket and running away. So I did see some of that. And as they described in the pregame show as I was driving up to the big house, Mason Garcia, he's a big kid. He is 6'5" and 250 pounds. Okay, and he's mobile too. So as I was watching the game, I was thinking about how our defense would do against someone like Talia Tagovailoa, and that's the team we have to play before Ohio State comes into the big house in November. So I think that in terms of the defense, that's the one thing that I noticed, is that I didn't see a lot of consistent pressure on Mason Garcia. But let's take a look at the defensive statistics to see what the actual numbers are. Let's take a look at the data. Let me see if ESPN has this loaded up yet. Sometimes they don't load up all the stats until Sunday. So team stats. Yeah, I don't see all of the individual player stats here. Let me go to Google. Let me try Google. In the meantime, everyone, keep letting me know what you think there in the chat. Dre Ellerby asked, "Hey guys, I'm going to share something." Okay, I'm going to share something. I see some smack against Alex there in the chat, and without telling my road dog's personal business, I'll just say that Alex has some other things, some other family related things on his mind right now besides football. So you guys are coming for him, and I think Alex enjoys that. I think he enjoys the smoke you guys give him, but I'll just say that he's got some other things right now that he's dealing with besides this. But you will see Alex again soon. Okay. And just remember, Alex is a person too. He's got a family. He's got feelings. He's got real life issues and concerns, just like all of us. Okay. So Dre Ellerby asked, did ECU get any pressure on JJ? They got some, but JJ's mobile, so JJ just rolled out. JJ just stepped up in the pocket, and JJ just turned those plays into something. Okay, so they did get some pressure back there, but JJ either rolled out or he stepped up in the pocket or he made something out of nothing. I think that first touchdown throw to Roman was almost called back because JJ, it looked like he crossed the line of scrimmage, but it was just barely. I think the ball was still behind him when his front leg crossed it, and they counted the touchdown. But to answer your question, they got some, but JJ, with his athletic ability, he was able to turn those plays into something. And Trevor Coles asked that, not Dre. Let's see. So let me look this up really quickly. Let's see if Google has the defensive statistics loaded up yet. Let's see. So we have the player stats, the offense, receiving. Yeah, okay. So Michigan, how did Michigan do in terms of their defensive statistics? Let's see. So our leading tackler was Keon Sabb. 3 total tackles, 2 assisted tackles. Junior Colson had 3 total tackles and 2 assisted tackles. And then it went pretty much down from there. So there was a lot of tackling. No sacks. No sacks today by anybody. Okay. Will that fly against Talia Tagovailoa or Kyle McCord? I don't know. But we got no sacks today. But there were also some players out as well. Let me see what else you guys are saying here. I'm going to read this Alex smack. The SDB says Alex is somewhere burning incense or trying to recover the Dragon balls so that the Ohio State quarterback, offensive line, and secondary can look better. Okay. Aaron Taylor says, was at the game today. A great start to the season. Really glad we got some work in for the backups. Bummer we lost the shutout. Yeah. You wanna see your team shut the other team completely out, but they got that field goal at the end. So it was a good start. I was looking for the team to put up 40 and 50 points. So the 30 was kind of but if they had punched the ball into the end zone on that one series, they would have gotten about 37 to 40 points. But 30 to 3 is good. I mean, it's a good problem to have versus what we had in the Brady Hoke years and the Rich Rod years. But I was looking for them to surpass the predicted score point differential. So the pass rush, that's one thing. I was also thinking today with this great game by Roman, Cornelius Johnson caught 5 balls for 71 yards. Colston Loveland caught 4 balls for 57 yards. Donovan caught 4 balls for 33 yards. Frederick Moore caught 2 for 18 yards. Max Bredesen caught 1 for 14. Blake caught 3 for 5, and Darius Clemens caught 1 for 4. I was looking and thinking today, or I was looking and wondering, who's going to be the third wide receiver? Because last year we had 4. We had Roman Wilson, we had Cornelius Johnson, we had Ronnie Bell, who's now with the San Francisco 49ers. Congratulations, Ronnie. And we also, even though he didn't have a great second year, we also had Andrell Anthony out there on the as a wide receiver. He's at Oklahoma now, but you at least had 3. So today I was looking and wondering who the third wide receiver is going to be. We know who our top tight end is going to be. That's going to be Colston Loveland, and who's going to be? I guess Max Bredesen is going to be the next tight end under him. But how much depth do we have at the wide receiver position? Because if Roman goes down, or if Cornelius goes down, we don't have a lot of experience out there on the outside. Antoine, what's going on? He says, you got to remember Michigan took the quarterback in the 3rd, I believe. Do you mean that they took JJ out? Yeah, so this is another point that Johnny made in his show, was that Davis Warren did go in, but I didn't feel like, I feel like when Davis Warren went in, it was just to wind the clock down, which I get it, but I also think that they do need to get that second quarterback ready to get in there and do something, just in case JJ, well, and I don't want to speak that into existence, but just in case something happens, you need to have that next guy ready. So let Davis Warren throw the ball down the field a little bit. Let him take some shots. Let him get some more experience while the schedule is still soft. So, yeah, so there weren't a lot of deep balls thrown today. JJ didn't really, there weren't really any deep balls thrown down the field. There were more slants and comeback routes, but they didn't really challenge that East Carolina secondary in a very meaningful way. So it'll be interesting to see what the balance of the offense will be going forward. And also, there were no long runs broken today, and that's probably because East Carolina was loading up the box to stop Blake and Donovan. So it'll be interesting to see going forward what the balance will be. But as long as the key players are healthy, as long as JJ can roll out and step up and use his mobility, I think that the offense is going to be able to do some great things this season. And then the other question mark, and I'm going to get to some of your comments, then I'll take a look around the rest of college football. The kicker, our new kicker, the kid's name is James Turner. James Turner. He's got big shoes to fill. Jake Moody kept us in a lot of games, and Jake Moody won us a lot of games the last 2 years. And we missed one extra point, and then James Turner was 1 for 2 for field goals. So that, over the last 2 seasons, clutch field goal kicking has been part of our recipe for winning. So if we're blowing teams out, if we're putting up 30 and 40 points a game, that's not so bad. But if we're coming down to nail biters like the games we had against Illinois last year, or the game we had against Maryland last year, that's going to be significant. So keep your eyes on James Turner, because we don't have Jake Moody anymore. And Jake Moody was clutch, and Jake Moody was damn near automatic. Okay, so I'm going to read Trevor Cole says Michigan State scored more in their opener. Okay. And then the XDB says, I think Moore and English will split duties as the third wide receiver. I expected it to be Morris, and I don't know where he was. Also, Michigan's defense was stale because ECU's offense was not on the field a lot. Okay. And I know Will Johnson was out, and I think I think Rod Moore was out. So there were also some players out. But the big thing to watch is that pass rush and whether or not we have to blitz or whether or not we can get pressure with the front four. That's going to be huge. Antoine says, you got some fans talking about Michigan's rushing game not being too good. But if you notice, ECU was run blitzing. That's why they got cooked by JJ. Yeah, so that's going to be critical this season too. If we know Coach Harbaugh loves to run the ball, I like to run the ball. I like to wear the other team's defense down. But if they're committing significant resources to stop it, then you have to make them pay through the air. And we have the ability to do that. And I think we need to exploit that this season if teams try to bottle up our running game the way TCU did. All right. That's all I have on the game. A quick story, and then I'll take a look around the college football landscape. There were a number of interesting games today. Hey, shout out to StubHub. I woke up this morning and I wanted to get out to the big house early. I did end up finding a free parking spot in one of the neighborhoods surrounding the stadium. But I woke up this morning and I said, you know what? Let me make sure I have my ticket. So when you buy a ticket on StubHub, have any of you guys ever bought tickets on StubHub? They don't send you hard tickets anymore. You get a barcode. And so you usually get a confirmation when you make your purchase. And then you get a notice that the person who sold you the ticket, they have sent you the ticket. So I'm looking through my email and I'm like, you know what? I don't have a ticket. Where's my ticket? So fortunately, I woke up with enough time to call StubHub and say, hey, I don't have my ticket. Where is it? And the customer service rep, I think her name was Laura or Ashley or something like that. She got me squared away. She said, okay, well, the sender didn't send you the ticket. What we can do is look for another one for you. And they were able to look for another ticket for me and get me another ticket. And it popped up in my wallet right away. So shout out to StubHub, excellent customer service this morning. If you guys ever buy tickets from StubHub, make sure the seller sends you your ticket. Because I almost didn't get to go to the game today. And that would have been so embarrassing. I told you guys I was going. I was looking forward to going. I made the drive out here to go to the game. And it would have been very, very embarrassing and disappointing not to be able to go to the game. But shout out to StubHub for that quick turnaround. Let's take a look at what happened in other games around the NCAA. Okay. It looks like, let's see, that was week 1. We are technically so this is week 1. So that means, why do I think Notre Dame played Tennessee State, TSU? Anyway, yeah, Notre Dame did play last week. They beat Navy 42-3. Okay, so today, let's take a look at today. Okay, Oklahoma beat Arkansas State 73-0. Tennessee beat Virginia 49-13. Iowa, Cade and Eric All, 2 of our defectors. Iowa beat Utah State 24-14. And as I was leaving the big house, as I was leaving Ann Arbor, they pointed out that I think Cade scored on their first series. Cade threw a touchdown pass to Eric All on their first series. And they said that this is the first time that Iowa has scored on their opening drive since the 90s. I'll say the 90s. So Cade and Eric All may be leading the resurgence of the Iowa Hawkeyes offense. So let's see what they did. Just briefly, player stats. So Cade out in Iowa. Cade went, it was a typical Cade McNamara game. Cade went 17 for 30 for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. That's a typical Cade McNamara game, at least in the early in the season. Eric All caught 3 balls for 15 yards and 1 touchdown. Hey guys, what are the chances of us meeting up with these guys in the Big Ten championship game? That would be exciting. That would be dramatic. But Cade, yeah. Cade has found a new home. Okay, so we defeated East Carolina 30-13. This was the other big game today. I think Trepa asked about Deion Sanders' kid. So Coach Prime has won his first game at Colorado. The Colorado Buffaloes defeated the Texas Christian Horned Frogs. They defeated TCU 45-42. So all throughout the game, I was getting alerts from Abdul Gaines. You guys know Abdul Gaines. He comes in and he trolls us. He was a Michigan fan, and now he's an Ohio State fan. But he was texting me all throughout the game about this Colorado game. So Coach Prime coached the Buffaloes to a nail biter over TCU. Let's see. Trepa Coles asked about Shedeur Sanders. So Shedeur Sanders went 38 for 47. So he threw the ball 47 times for 510 yards and 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. So congratulations to Coach Prime for doing the thing that we couldn't. So if our coaching staff had just prepared a little bit better, and if they had just adjusted earlier, we could have beat TCU as well. Let's see. The SDB says, I think Moore in English will split duties as the third wide receiver. I think I already read this one. Also, Darius Clemens. I think Darius Clemens is supposed to make a jump this year, so he could be the third guy as well. Let's see. Antoine says, and OSU is in trouble. I think they took Iowa's offensive coordinator playing 1980s football. Michigan looks like OSU, and OSU looks like the 1980s Buckeyes. Okay. Antoine says McCord is not that dude. And I'm thinking if it was some kind of battle with him and Little Brownie, then both of them are not that good. McCord looks like McNamara with all them checkdowns. Hey, Cade won his first game out in Iowa. So there's something to be said for not turning the ball over and throwing it away and checking the ball down. But you want some gambles as well. The SDB says, Cade's dad said they want a Michigan-Iowa Big Ten title game. I do too. So the McNamaras can call the feds for child abuse after Coach Harbaugh lets the Wolves loose on their son. It was an unfortunate set of circumstances last year. The fan base wasn't as humane as they could have been to Cade, but I think one of the bottom lines of sports is that even on your own team, there's competition, and only one kid can play quarterback at one time. Unfortunately, you can have two wide receivers, you can have two backs going in and out, multiple tight ends, but only one kid can play quarterback in a meaningful way long term. So that's the unfortunate part of what happened. And JJ was clearly the more dynamic of the two quarterbacks. Please smash that like button if you haven't. If you want to super chat something, that's live. And if you want to make a donation, my Cash App and PayPal, are below in the description box. Doing it on my phone like this, I can't copy those into the chat. But let's see. Andy K says, Michigan could face Cade in the Big Ten championship game and then play Joe Milton in Tennessee in the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, guys, there are a lot of things, a lot of scenarios can play out now. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this whole puzzle fits together by December. Antoine says, let's see. They might as well get rid of Marvin. Stover will be their top receiver. Well, Marvin's going pro after this season, right? Okay, the rest of the score. So Iowa won their game. Colorado beat TCU. Mississippi beat Mercer 73-7. Oregon defeated Portland State 81-7. Wisconsin defeated my hometown University at Buffalo Bulls 38-17. Just a few more guys. Rice defeated Texas 37-10. Notre Dame defeated Tennessee State 56-3. We might have to watch out for Notre Dame on the national stage as well. Ohio State defeated Indiana 23-3. Not very impressive, but they started with a conference game. And it looked like Indiana got a couple of kids from the transfer portal. One kid they named a defensive captain. So they have a kid on their defense who's playing lights out. So, and we have them this year as well. So we may make fun of Ohio State right now, but we have to play this exact same Indiana team in a couple of weeks as well. Let's see. Trepacole says Ryan Day had to give McCord an opportunity to start since he has more time in the program, and you want to keep him engaged, but Brown is expected to be the starter before it's all said and done. See, I think this will be a good time to have Alex here. Aside from you guys taking runs at him. Let's see, the SDB says, do you think it was the fans being mean or Cade acting entitled like Wilton Spade, not realizing that you have to earn your spot each year? I didn't know Wilton acted entitled. I know that Wilton, when he came back, he didn't pick right up where he picked up before he broke his collarbone, but it looked like he did regress a little bit. And in terms of Cade, it was well, since we're talking about Cade, we might as well play his drop. Hold on.
I mean, I'm a Big Ten championship winning starting quarterback, and that's obviously it.
Cade, tell us one more time who you are. Give it to us one more time.
Big Ten championship winning starting quarterback, and that's how I see it.
So with Cade, I think it was interesting because he was a starting Big Ten championship quarterback who basically helped put Michigan back on the map. So you would think that he would have a positive balance in the bank because of that. And he would have the fans' respect and he would have the fans' support because of that. But people were also skeptical about whether or not he could take us to that next level. And he had a kid behind him who was uber talented and who had the measurables. So it was just a tough situation. And then you also have to think about, how does that feel to have the quarterback competition go into the first 3 games. You typically, I think he thought he had it won before the opener, but it must have been tough to have to compete for it during the season. Even though Tom Brady had to do that his senior year, maybe not in the same way. Lloyd Carr used the platoon system, but I just think that it was in total, those were tough circumstances for a kid to go through, and only a Tom Brady could make it through that as the winner and with his and still standing. Not every kid could do that. Okay, Antoine says Notre Dame is dangerous. They will beat Ohio State. Sam Hartman might be the best quarterback in college. I've seen on OSU chats, they're worried about him. Tripicola says, at the SDB, I don't know what world you're living in, but tons of players don't earn their spot. Always been like that. It was like that at Michigan back in the day, but they still won. Okay, I'm going to do a few more scores. I've managed to talk for almost an hour. I didn't expect to do this, but you guys are giving me good comments there in the chat as well. Let's see. Washington is coming to the Big Ten next year, I believe. They beat Boise State 56-19. Georgia destroyed T.N. Martin 48-7. USC demolished Nevada 66-14. Kansas State destroyed SEMO 45-zip. Texas A&M defeated New Mexico 52-10. And then these games are still in progress. Penn State is up 31-15 over West Virginia. South Carolina is down. UNC is up 31 on South Carolina, 31-17 over South Carolina. Alabama, one of Abdul Gaines' favorite teams, is up 56-7 on Middle Tennessee State. Tulane is up 31-17 over South Alabama. And then, it looks like there are 2 games tomorrow, Oregon State and San Jose State, LSU and Florida State, and Duke and Clemson are playing on Monday. All right, and that's it. AB Media, what's going on? Peace. We have representation from the Black Manosphere here. I think AB Media, I think you have the Coliseum tonight. Thank you for stopping through. Just going over some college football here. The SDB says, I disagree. Jalen Hurts, ring a bell. Spencer Rattler, shall I continue? Okay. Well, I know that the SDB, I know that in that instance, Jalen Hurts was the starter. He was Nick Saban's guy. But Tua came in and snatched the job when Jalen was struggling in the national title game against Georgia. I remember that. Tua came in threw a couple of touchdown strikes, and that was it. The rest was history. So, yeah, for the most part, yeah, coaches have to play the more talented guy if that guy has earned the spot. There's just, yeah, they can't, they may have their favorite, but in these big time programs, there's so much pressure to win. They have to play the most talented guy, if it's that obvious. All right, everyone, I am about at an hour. I'm going to wrap this up and watch some TV here and relax. It's been a long day. I think we'll end with a word from Lloyd Carr.
For the last 28 years, I've spent my life in the greatest of places, the University of Michigan.
You know what? Since we're talking about competition and players beating out other players for their positions, I think I'm going to play one more Lloyd Carr drop because this one, it really, well, let's do JJ first.
I feel like the efficiency was definitely there, but we had that one drive, I think it was the second drive of the game where we went 3 and out, and that one was on me. So that one kind of haunts me, but you know, I thought we played pretty well in the first half.
I'll play one more Lloyd Carr drop because that epitomizes what these kids have to go through when they're at the University of Michigan or the University of Alabama or Georgia or Ohio State.
In today's world, in intercollegiate athletics at a place like Michigan, the pressure on those guys is unbelievable, and they got to want that pressure.
The pressure on those guys is unbelievable, and they have to want that pressure. All right, everyone. Hey, it's a Saturday night. Thank you to those of you who came into my stream tonight and commented and interacted and who let me know what you think. I wanted to do this earlier, but I had some dinner plans with a good friend, with 2 good friends. So I had to push this off. But when there's a game, you want to strike while the iron is hot and do the post-game content right away. You don't want to wait until the next day, especially when the NFL is starting. You want to get everything done and covered. Thank you, Antoine, and thank you, Andy. Everybody, thank you, everybody who stopped through and supported this stream. This is Big Discussion 76 Sports. Everyone, especially for the new people, this is my channel. Big Discussions 76 Sports. My name is Dr. Anwar Yusuf Dunbar. If you are new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to Bo Lytle. Respect is earned. So if I've earned your respect, please consider subscribing to the channel. Right when the stream started, I was at 1,195. That means I need 5 more to get to 1,200. If you're unsubscribed, please consider subscribing and help me to get to 1,200 and beyond. If you want to donate something to the channel, my Cash App and PayPal are in the description box below. And you can also leave a super thanks. And with that, I'm going to wrap up. Hey, the SDB, thanks for being a good sport. Shout out to Alex. He's dealing with a couple things right now. We all come here and we all have fun. Sports are fun. We clown each other and we clown our teams, but we all have real lives as well. So sports, in a lot of ways, is an escape for us, but we all have real lives. So I will pass that on to him when I talk to him. So everyone, I'm going to wrap up. Go Blue. Oh, if you're a reader, the link to my newsletter is in the description box as well. I'm working on a sports-related book. So with that, go Blue. As always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Always try to do your best. Take care, and I will talk to you the next time. I'll probably do something short leading up to the UNLV game. That is a 3:30 kickoff next week. I'll be watching that one from the DMV, Northern Virginia. But that's going to be a 3:30 kickoff. So just FYI. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, and I will talk to you again soon. Thank you once again for my diehards who are subbed and who continue to come back. Thank you. All right, I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Bye-bye.